My name is Jessie Thomson. I'm the Director of the Humanitarian Assistance and Emergency Team at CARE Canada.
I'm Jacquelyn Wright. I'm the Vice President of International Programs here at CARE.
I think what was most shocking about the report was that it's the highest number of forcibly displaced persons on record. Over 42,000 refugees are displaced daily, or people are displaced daily, not just refugees, but people also displaced within their countries. And the fact that 1 in every 122 people in the world is currently a displaced person.
I went to Chad in April last year, 2014. And it was a chance to see what CARE Chad is doing in terms of the refugee population there specifically, but also just to learn all of the work that they're doing there.
So CARE works with refugees all over the world. We have a huge operation in response to the Syrian refugee crisis. So we're working with refugees in Turkey, in Lebanon, and in Jordan, where Syrian refugees have sought refuge from Syria. But we're also working with refugees in Uganda from South Sudan. We're working with refugees from Central African Republic, in Chad, and in Cameroon. And with refugees in other parts of the world. So it is part of our work and how we work around the world as part of our humanitarian mandate.
One of the things we were there to do was to advocate with the UN agencies and government is to move those people as quickly as possible into a more medium-term kind of situation in the refugee camps, because it was starting to rain. It was a rainy season, and they were really in very miserable conditions, and I was really worried about not just the kids, but in terms of health and water situation, latrines, that sort of thing. So it was something that was really important when we were there, was to get things moving so that they were going to be in a better situation. We went to see the refugee camps that were being set up. And as I mentioned, it was starting to rain, and so not all the latrines have been dug, not all of the water and sanitation. And actually the tents, the temporary tents that were set up in the refugee camp were flooded. So people are, living with, ankle-high water, and can't cook, and everything's wet, and still the latrines aren't built. So, even there, even though that was going to become in the midterm a better situation, it still wasn't at that moment. And, when you go and visit a place like that, and especially coming from a place of privilege, which of course I am, people come up to you and ask you for help. Them coming in and sharing their story and really asking for help is really, really emotional, but in the same time, when you know that you can do something about it, it's also very rewarding, knowing that in the future it will get better. Well, I think the refugee situation in the world is, at epic proportions, and we have the opportunity to do something about it. I think we have the opportunity to raise people's awareness about how incredibly difficult it is to leave your home and everything you know and cross the border into another country without probably a passport or any kind of citizenship whatsoever, and you really have no home. And whether you're from a poor rural village in Africa or a modern city in Syria, it's the same thing. You're left with nothing and very little, in the way of being able to support yourself and make a life for yourself and your family. And of course, you always want to go home.
We're just encouraging Canadians to take a selfie with the hashtag #NotThatDifferent, share it through social media, and share a video that we've made showcasing, the similarities between Canadians and Syrians, to really help raise awareness about the fact that refugees and displaced people are really not that different than you and me.